Okay, here again on the Rich Van Tassel channel. We're going to be breaking down last night's Monday Night Football game in just a second, but we are coming close to the basketball season. We are now a week away. So we're going to start by giving you the 50 best players in the NBA. We're not going to give you all 50 at once. I'm going to give you the 10 best right now, the top 10 in order from 1 to 10. And then each day we'll give you another 10 leading up to the season, as well as the predictions for what we think is going to happen, the postseason awards, and all that good stuff. But we're starting with the 10 best players in the league. And we're going to start at the top spot, and no surprises here. It is still LeBron James. LeBron James can do everything on the court. He may have slowed a little bit. Age is starting to catch up with him just a little. Going to be 31 on New Year's Eve of this year. But the guy's still going to average 25 points, be around 7 or 8 rebounds and 7 or 8 assists a night. And it just shows, how bad Miami was last year without LeBron James on the court. Now, granted, Chris Bosh was hurt, Dwayne Wade was hurt, but he was able to carry a team to 2 wins in the finals that was without Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. And Kevin Love for most of the playoffs, so they were able to carry that team. He was able to carry that team all the way down. He still gets the job done. He's obviously a top-notch defender, though he's never won a Defensive Player of the Year award. Look for him to get that soon. I don't think it'll be because he's playing the best defense, but because people will think that he needs it at this point to solidify his legacy. He's been a better defender in the past, obviously, but clearly LeBron James is still the best player in the league. The second best player, now there was a lot of talk about this a couple weeks ago. He came out and said he was the best, and it's hard to argue against him. If there was anyone I would take to replace LeBron James, it would be him. And I have him at second best, and that may come as a surprise to some people, but it is James Harden of the Houston Rockets. James Harden is the toughest cover in the NBA. I don't care what anyone says. LeBron James, you can double team. LeBron James, you can put a big guy on him and body him. James Harden, there's really nothing you can do with him. His handle on the outside is superb. He knows how to get to the free throw line. He's a great three-point shooter, and he's going to make 90% of his free throws when he gets there. His distributing could be a little better, but he does do it well enough. And the Ty Lawson being on the team now won't even require him to do it that much to begin anymore this season. So James Harden, I've generally not been one who likes floppers. James Harden is that, and for some reason I love James Harden's game. I don't know what it is because I really don't like floppers, and Harden is a brutal flopper. I can't even sit here and pretend he's not. But James Harden is the second best player in the NBA. Third best, the defending MVP and NBA champion, Steph Curry. His handle on the outside is ridiculous. He can cross guys over, make moves. He can distribute on the run. I just call him a guard. I don't really call him a point guard or anything like that. He's just a guard who can distribute. Obviously, he can shoot. You don't want to give him any open airspace. Can't get to the free throw line like James Harden does. And James Harden's a little bigger guy, not just in height, but also in muscular stature, and that's where I give him the edge because he's a little bit. James Harden doesn't really try that much on defense, and then not like Steph Curry does either. And Steph Curry can't really defend guys, so that's where the difference is. But I think if James Harden commits himself to the defensive end, that's where the difference is between the two. But Steph Curry is a great player. He can drive the hole. He can drill on the outside, break it down, break guys down, make the shots he needs, and distribute the ball as well. So the defending MVP Steph Curry is number 3. Number 4, another guard and basically in a similar mode to James Harden, and that is Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Westbrook's explosive, gets to the rim. He's going to get fouled because he's such an athletic guy. It's so hard to defend, especially when he gets ahead of steam and goes rolling to the hoop. There's just not much you can do with him. He's a good three-point shooter, also a good free throw shooter. Not quite as good of a three-point shooter as James Harden is. He's a fierce competitor. He really competes on the defensive end as well. So that's always going to be a thing you look for in any player in the NBA. And Russell Westbrook certainly has that. His defense is better than most people give him credit for. So that's why Russell Westbrook comes in at number 4 on the list of the 10 best players. Number 5, Anthony Davis, the center for the New Orleans Pelicans. Not really underrated or underheralded because he does certainly get the publicity. I don't think he gets as much as he would if he played in a bigger market, but there's no question that those who know the game and even those people who are not incredibly in tune to the game know how good of a player Anthony Davis is. Guy has really improved his shot since he's come into the league. He could not shoot a lick when he first came into the NBA, but now he's a good shooter. He's a great defender as well, can block shots. big time rebounder. His post game, I would like to see it improve just a bit because he's relied heavily on pick and pop and making jump shots in that regard and spotting guys up. I'd like to see him develop a few more moves close to the basket, and I think that will really elevate his game to the next level. But Anthony Davis is the fifth best player in the NBA. Number 6, we're going with another guard. It's a point guard. Probably going to surprise a lot of people with this one. I like John Wall, the point guard of the Washington Wizards. There's not a faster guy in this league, and that says a lot because we just aforementioned Russell Westbrook can certainly fly. Now, John Wall is nowhere near the shooter of a Harden, of a Curry, or of a Russell Westbrook, and he'll really have to improve that to become a better point guard in this league. But he has he's very heady. He knows what he has to do. He is a good distributor. I think last season with Paul Pierce, showing him how to be a leader of a team is really going to help him in the future. And again, he's just an impossible cover in the pick and roll situations, which is why if you put him in a pick and roll situation with a big guy who can shoot, it's going to be a very difficult defend this entire year. He can blow by guys. You can defend him and he'll still go around you. Like you can give him the side you want to force him to on the screen in the pick and roll defense, and he'll still go to that side that you want him to go to, and he'll get to the rim with ease. He's lightning fast. I really like John Wall. I think he's going to continue to improve and get better and look to lead this team to the next step in the NBA. So John Wall, number 6. Number 7, a guy who's never been in the playoffs, so certainly some question marks there. I have DeMarcus Cousins, the power forward of the Sacramento Kings. Doesn't get the publicity being in Sacramento and a team that doesn't win, but when you look at this guy's numbers, he's going to put up 20 and 10 almost every night, if not every night. He's a monster in his post game when he's posting guys up offensively. Big time rebounder. His shooting could improve, but it's still very good. And I'm actually looking forward to it. We'll get more into it when we get to the season previews. I like what I'm going to see from Sacramento this year, especially with the addition of Rajon Rondo helping DeMarcus Cousins out. So Cousins has never played in the playoffs, so that would certainly dock him, but this guy is not devoid of talent in really any position on the floor. He can do it all. So DeMarcus Cousins, number 7. Number 8, Kevin Durant, who was the MVP a few years ago, coming off an injury last year. Durant, what can you say? This guy can drop 40 anytime he really wants. The injury is what's hindering him. I've never had Kevin Durant quite as high as others have. I've always thought, guys like a James Harden and Anthony Davis. I've even thought Russell Westbrook is better than Kevin Durant. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is a bad player, but I've just never had him as high up as people would think. But he's still a great player. He can make shots. He's another guy who, when he gets to the free throw line, is going to make the shot almost every time. He's going to be right at 90%. He was a 50-40-90 guy. For people who don't know what 50-40-90 is, it's when you shoot 50% your field goal percentage, you shoot 40% your three-point field goal percentage, and you shoot 90% from the free throw line. So he's one of a few guys who's ever done that before. So you have to respect his shooting prowess. He's not the best defender. He's got a bit of a slight frame. He can rebound, though, which is good with those long arms, and he can also finish in transition. So he's going to look to bounce back from this injury this year, and it could be a year where he's his final in Oklahoma City. So whether he'll be traded or not, that we'll go more into that when the season comes. But look for him to have a bounce back year coming off that injury. So that's Kevin Durant, number 8. Number 9, another guard. I like guards, as you can tell. I have Kyrie Irving, the point guard of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I thought had Kyrie Irving played, they probably would have won that series against the Golden State Warriors, at least gone to 7 games, and played a much tougher Game 7 than many would have expected. Kyrie Irving's a sensational guy. He's a flat-out scorer. I'd like to see him become more of a distributor, but he doesn't really have to because he has LeBron James. But the guy can shoot. He also does a good job of getting in the line, though. He doesn't always focus it on a game-to-game basis of trying his hardest to get to the line, which is something that I think would help him, especially just scoring more points, getting the easier points, especially early on in your career. You don't really want to take the beating, but it's a good way to get points for him. So when he asserts himself and tries to get to the line and is focused on that, he will do so. But in this situation, it's not always a game-to-game basis. But a guy can shoot threes. He's a good steal man, too, on the defensive side of the ball. Probably the best defensive point guard on this list. I don't think he's the best defensive point guard in the league, but on this list, I would have him as the best, even above Russell Westbrook, who's quality as well. So we have Kyrie Irving, number 9. And rounding out the list, I have Blake Griffin, the power forward of the Los Angeles Clippers. Blake has improved his game immensely over the years. He's become better with his post moves. He, was really just a dunk guy early in his career. He still needs to shapen up on the defensive end, be a little tougher, block shots, get more rebounds, get more tough rebounds. It's guys like him can get 10 rebounds a game. That's not difficult. It's are you getting the tough rebounds, which I've still yet to see Blake Griffin do on a consistent basis. He's got to be a better shot blocker as well, but he has improved areas like his free throw shooting and his outside shooting throughout his career. So look for him to shore those up on the defensive side of the ball. I think it'll really help him move on in the future to really solidify himself as one of the top players in this league and talking like a top five player. We already have him in the top 10. So even the critiques I'm giving you of these guys shouldn't be taken that seriously because I still have them as the 10 best. So that's the list. We'll come back tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, October 21st, and we will give you players 11 through 20. But that's that for now, and stay tuned. In just a few minutes, we're going to give you last night's breakdown of the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles Monday Night Football game.